Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to iTouch App Reviewers. In this video, I've got a ton of stories to go over with you guys, including why the iPhone XR is named the XR. That's actually something I was really curious about, but before we get into that, song of the day, of course, is gonna be Drip Too Hard by Lil Baby and Gunna. This song is absolute fire. I gotta be kind of careful with what I show because there actually is some nudity in this, which is kind of weird for YouTube. But anyways, the song is really good. It's blowing up. Obviously 6 million views already. It just came out a couple days ago and it's really good. So check it out if you haven't already. It's a great song. All right, on to the actual stories for today. So first up, this one's kind of a big deal if you use GasBuddy. I actually do to find good gas prices, but apparently there's an issue with it, causing some iPhones to become completely unresponsive and respring. I actually filmed 2 other videos in early September, but then some shit kind of hit the fan in my personal life and I actually didn't get those out by the next couple weeks. So I actually deleted them the other day. So, but GasBuddy was actually one of the apps that was stealing users' data, like location data, and selling it to other people. I leave location data off for this one, like I turn off my location so they can't use it. But I had 2 videos going over some Mac apps that basically are tracking all the users as well, and some iPhone apps as well. So basically, for the story, turn off location tracking, but that's not necessarily what's causing this issue. GasBuddy actually said that they're rapidly, preparing an update, blah, 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 all this usual PR stuff. So there's gonna be an update very soon to this because some people are actually bringing this into the Apple store, like their phone will not turn on, and they're wondering what the heck's going on. They basically just tell them to uninstall the GasBuddy app after they do a reboot. So we'll have to see what happens with that. They better release a statement on why it's doing that, like let people know why. And based on GasBuddy's past, I would not be surprised if it had to do with, them trying to track your location or something, some sort of glitch like that, because this is very odd. All right, next up, we've got Intel says 10 nanometer chip development is on track. So in the past, Intel's been kind of lacking on their chip development. They've been a little bit far behind, and Apple's not been happy about that. Apple's actually in development of their own chips because they're tired of being reliant on Intel, and I totally don't blame them. Intel has been dropping the ball recently, but basically they're saying, according to Intel, yields on its 10 nanometer process are improving consistent with the timeline shared during last earnings report, which means sans additional delays, the chips will come out in 2019. This is big news for 2019 Macs, but we'll have to see what happens there, but it's good to know that they're on track. All right, another little one here. Apple seeds the 5th beta of iOS 12.1 to developers, and public beta is also available now, so you guys can go download that if you're on it. A lot of people are reporting that this is a great update, 12.1 in itself. Looking forward to seeing that one come out to the total public. All right, so famous Ming Chi Kuo has come out basically this time saying that the iPhone XR pre-order demand over the first weekend exceeded that of the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. Now that's not saying too much because the iPhone X obviously took a lot of that glory, but iPhone XS and XS Max also took this one's glory. So you guys can take a look at this here. So this is the curves for the iPhone XS and XS Max. You can see the solid line is for those, and then the dotted line is for the XR. And you can see initial demand wasn't super high because, like we said, most of the people that are getting that phone are not tech enthusiasts, let's just say that. But as you can see, it kind of like went down, but not nearly as hard as these ones. Like people that wanted the XS and XS Max, they got it on launch day, like pre-order, and then everyone else is just kind of like, screw it, I don't want it. So the XR is a little different because it's kind of aimed at the general demographic of people. It means that it's basically going to go like this, and it's probably going to even out and slowly go down very slowly. So this is kind of what we expected to see. iPhone XR is going to sell a lot. I got some people on my other video telling me that it's not and that I'm wrong, but I'm telling you guys, this phone is going to sell. It's going to sell really well. And another reason this is not so big is because this is just from Apple. This is not from carriers data or anything like that. So if people are just upgrading through Verizon, for example, it ain't gonna show up here. So that's that. And now this was pretty interesting, but not surprising to me. iPhone ownership among American teens remains steady while intent to purchase grows. So in case you guys aren't aware, the iPhone is actually growing in the United States very well. Like it's become kind of like a status symbol, but so much so that people are spending way too much money, like kids, like teenagers are buying these phones, or their parents are buying them these phones that are super expensive just so they can have an iPhone. And I'm all for it, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do, not my money. But we are now seeing, obviously this is percentage of teens, iPhone ownership, own an iPhone or expect next phone to be one. You guys can see kind of how this has risen over the years. Own an iPhone's been going up, so has expect to own one. So spring of 18 and fall of 18 are almost the same. So they're pretty much just steady there, but I mean, you can go out anywhere and to a school, college, whatever, and you will see just about everyone has an iPhone. They're just incredibly popular, and it makes sense. iMessage is a freaking beast. All right, so on to a big one here. So this is Phil Schiller. He had a little bit of an interview discussing the iPhone XR. And here's a question everyone's been asking, what the R stands for in the iPhone XR. He said, I love cars and things that go fast. And R and S are both letters used to denote sports cars that are really extra special. So he's basically saying it's because it's a special edition phone, fast, blah, blah, blah. I think, well, think about it like this. iPhone XS, iPhone XR. QRS. R comes before S. So I think that's kind of what they're doing a little bit too. I mean, they couldn't call it the S. They couldn't call it the Q because of the LG thin Q phone. So they chose R. I think it kind of makes sense. Now that I think about it, you know, it's a step back from the S, but it's still a really, really good phone. It's fast. It's got all the internals. And then people are talking about the pixels, low resolution display. He said, I think the only way to judge a display is to look at it. If you can't see the pixels, at some point, the numbers don't mean anything. They're fairly arbitrary. I completely agree with him on that. So when I first saw the specs, I was like, nah, this is trash. But every single review so far has said that the display is actually really nice. So with that in mind, I've got an open mind to it. I'll probably go to the Apple store at some point and just check it out. But I can't imagine they would put a bad display on a phone. So I think it's gonna look pretty dang good. So those are the stories for today. Let me know which story you like the most, and let me know down below what you thought the R stood for in XR. Don't cheat because obviously you've already watched the video. But anyways, that's all I got for this video, guys. Stay lit, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.